Hello and welcome back to the channel. In a shocking turn of events that has sent ripples across global capitals, reports are emerging that Russian President Vladimir Putin has reportedly fled to a secure underground bunker following a surprise attack in the heart of Moscow. Sources confirm that this unprecedented strike has effectively eliminated several of Putin's most notorious operatives, often referred to as his relentless butchers, who were responsible for enforcing his harshest policies and silencing dissent. Eyewitness accounts from central Moscow describe scenes of chaos and panic, with emergency sirens blaring and streets barricaded as Russian forces scrambled to regain control. Residents report an unusual intensity in explosions and gunfire, followed by an eerie silence as authorities attempted to contain the situation. Analysts suggest that this attack was meticulously planned, likely orchestrated by an opposition faction or a foreign intelligence-backed operation designed to cripple the inner circle of Putin's power. The identity of the attackers remains unconfirmed, though preliminary intelligence points to a highly coordinated strike involving both ground and aerial units. Surveillance footage circulating online appears to show heavily armed operatives moving swiftly through strategic points in Moscow, targeting known residences and offices linked to Putin's security apparatus. These individuals were often described as loyal enforcers, notorious for their ruthless tactics in suppressing political dissent, prosecuting journalists, and maintaining an atmosphere of fear across Russia. Global leaders have expressed shock at the audacity of the attack, with immediate calls for calm from both European and North American capitals. Security experts are emphasizing the unprecedented nature of such an operation within Moscow's central districts, traditionally considered some of the most secure and heavily monitored areas in the world. Russian state media initially downplayed the incident, referring to it as a security breach, and reporting that normalcy would return shortly. However, independent sources and satellite imagery suggest otherwise. Multiple key government facilities experienced temporary lockdowns, with armored convoys moving at unprecedented speeds through major highways. Analysts indicate that the targeting of high-profile operatives could signal a deliberate attempt to destabilize Putin's immediate chain of command. Political commentators are debating the implications of Putin retreating to a bunker, a move that could reflect the severity of the threat to his personal safety. While underground shelters have long been part of Russia's security infrastructure, experts caution that such retreats are rarely taken lightly and may indicate serious concerns regarding internal threats. The strategic elimination of Putin's relentless butchers could have profound ramifications for the Russian state's internal operations. These operatives were often linked to covert operations, both domestically and abroad, and their removal may temporarily create a vacuum in enforcement mechanisms. Intelligence analysts are monitoring whether this vacuum will trigger internal power struggles or embolden opposition movements within Russia. Internationally, the event has sparked immediate reactions from major world powers. NATO officials are reportedly assessing whether this attack signifies a broader shift in Russia's internal security posture, while intelligence agencies in Europe and North America are reviewing the potential implications for ongoing conflicts and global security. The sudden removal of high-ranking operatives could alter Russia's military and strategic priorities, potentially opening new avenues for diplomacy or conflict. On the streets of Moscow, the atmosphere remains tense. Local residents describe unprecedented military presence, with checkpoints established at major intersections and patrols moving in synchronized formations. Social media posts, some from verified sources, show smoke rising from key locations and armored vehicles deployed in areas traditionally considered off-limits to public observation. Analysts are noting that attacks of this scale require significant planning, intelligence, and coordination, suggesting that whoever carried out this operation had deep access and insider knowledge. The possibility of a breach within Russian intelligence agencies or a coordinated foreign-backed strike is being seriously considered. Historical precedents for such internal coups or attacks in major capitals are rare, making this event particularly alarming on a global scale. As the day unfolds, global markets have reacted with uncertainty. Oil prices, traditionally sensitive to geopolitical upheavals in Russia, have shown volatility, reflecting fears of instability within one of the world's largest energy producers. Investors and analysts alike are weighing the potential impact on global energy supply, security, and political alliances. Meanwhile, Kremlin officials are reportedly working behind closed doors to secure loyalty among remaining operatives. Emergency security meetings are believed to be in progress, focusing on both immediate threats and long-term stabilization strategies. Experts warn that the removal of top enforcers may temporarily expose weaknesses in internal surveillance, making rapid response critical to prevent further escalation. Security experts also caution about the psychological impact of such events on both domestic and international audiences. Putin's retreat to a bunker, coupled with the decimation of his trusted enforcers, challenges the image of invulnerability often projected by authoritarian leaders. This sudden disruption may embolden opposition factions within Russia while altering the perception of power in global diplomatic circles. In terms of historical context, Russia has experienced internal security crises before, but rarely within the capital and rarely involving the elimination of top operatives in such a visible manner. Analysts point to parallels with other high-profile regime challenges, emphasizing that the combination of surprise, precision, and audacity makes this incident a rare geopolitical flashpoint. Military analysts are also closely examining the tactical elements of the attack. The synchronization of ground units and possible aerial support points to a level of coordination typically seen only in military operations, rather than isolated insurgent acts. If verified, this could suggest that the attackers were either highly trained operatives or individuals with direct military experience, further heightening the significance of the event. As the world watches, questions remain about the immediate and long-term consequences. Will this strike mark the beginning of a larger campaign against the Russian leadership? Could it signal cracks in Putin's internal security network, or is this a carefully calculated message to demonstrate vulnerability without prompting full-scale conflict? Experts warn that these questions may remain unanswered for some time, but the implications are already reverberating across diplomatic, economic, and security arenas. For the Russian people, the psychological impact is immense. Witnesses describe a city gripped by fear and uncertainty, with rumors spreading rapidly through both traditional and social media channels. Emergency services remain on high alert, and the usual patterns of daily life are disrupted, reflecting the profound shock to Moscow's sense of security. In conclusion, the surprise attack that reportedly eliminated key members of Putin's inner circle marks a historic moment in Russian political history. The retreat of Vladimir Putin to his bunker underscores the severity of the threat, while the removal of his notorious enforcers opens an unpredictable chapter in the country's internal dynamics. Global observers continue to monitor the situation closely, weighing the potential ramifications for international security, diplomacy, and regional stability. As more information emerges, one thing is clear: the events unfolding in Moscow represent a rare and dramatic shift in the balance of power, one that will be studied for years to come by historians, analysts, and policymakers alike. Stay tuned as we continue to provide updates on this developing story.